In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Hello and welcome to a show called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Wheezy.
You're hay fevery, I think it's true to say.
I think the hay fever may be a factor. It may also have been the 40 exotic shrooks I smoked on the way here.
Yes.
But no, hay fever. We did have some debate before going on air as to whether or not pollen would be my hate this week, and I'm gonna stick to my guns and not say pollen because I had a hate lined up. However,
let's talk about pollen.
What about that pollen?
I hate pollen. I hate the outdoors. I think that's the real take-home message here.
The shit outdoors.
What is even out there that I can't look at through Google?
Or a glass window.
No,
Google. You don't need to turn your head and look out the window.
I can't see the Grand
Just
Canyon
get it on
through
your
my
screen,
window.
John.
Or just get someone to do it for you.
Get someone to do it for you or describe it to you.
Yeah.
You can go on Street View to see what's
Go on
outside your
Street
window,
View.
John.
There's all sorts going on.
I saw a news item today that a very remote and obscure town somewhere in the world has gained an incredible amount of Google searches in the last week.
Has it got a funny name?
No, because it got out that a lady had exposed her breast
Oh my.
on on Google Street View.
What, and she got away with it without being censored?
Don't ask me how. I mean, she must have gone right up to the
Who
the
polices
lens.
Google Street View?
Well, it's got an automatic algorithm to
Has it?
detect
Oh.
faces, body parts, and
Yeah.
number plates.
Really?
Yes.
If you go to my mum's house on Google Street View, you will see my mum coming out of the house. And then as they go round the village where we used to live, because she was walking up to a different street, she's in various locations all up across Google Street View.
I used to live in a flat in Salisbury, in the centre of town, and we used to, very dangerously, go out onto the roof, it was a flat roof, and just sit with our legs dangling over the edge,
Nice.
looking down into the high street of Salisbury. And me and my mate Dave used to live there. And one time we were just sat there. We spent a lot of time sat there looking down, and this bizarre car with this weird rig on the roof of it went past. We're like, that was the Google Street View car. And a few months later, we checked, and we're there. You can see our little feet hanging over the edge of the rooftop. It's amazing. Unfortunately, it refreshes every few years, and they redo it. So we're gone now, but we saved a screenshot.
Oh, you got it.
So it's okay. Don't worry, guys.
I remember trying to track a route not far from where we live, actually. It was going through the hills. And I was on Street View, and I was like, click, okay, forward. And then suddenly there's a man wiping the camera.
Oh my God, really?
In a car park. And then suddenly it's like road, like it never happened. And I went back, and it wasn't there.
So this town was getting loads of searches because people were looking to find the boob.
Like somebody must have found it and then shared it online.
It's like, there's a boob here!
Yeah, and then everyone was like, we gotta find it! We gotta find that.
It's like, where's boob? It's like the new Where's Wally?
Yeah.
People want to get a life, don't they?
I don't know.
But it's
a
like...
boob's pretty exciting.
It's just a single
I mean,
boob.
there are other places on the internet you can find a boob.
Really?
Yeah,
You
allegedly.
may even use Google, some might say.
I think I broke my back doing that.
But what's interesting based on the shot is that it's not like, because there's been, there's stuff a while ago that Google, not the aerial one, like we used to have like Google satellite view.
Yeah.
You used to say stuff like, if you zoom in, you can see someone like sunbathing topless, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
there was that rumour.
So it's not like that, or like the Google Street View car went past a beach, and if you look at like in the distance, there's like a grainy figure of
3
someone
pixels of
getting
a woman.
dressed. Yeah, but no, she is right in front of the camera, which kind of suggests that she must have run up to it at some point.
Look at me!
Hopefully, it wasn't moving at the time, because then
The thing is, you don't know when it's cut. You've got no way of knowing that it's going to be
it's
there.
it's a crime of passion.
She reacted,
Yeah,
saw that
in
car.
in that moment.
She was like, "It's my boob. It's got to be my boob."
You almost got to salute her, really, haven't you? For like
Just
well,
one
she
boob.
did the boob salute.
just one boob.
Oh,
That's weird.
yeah.
She made a choice.
I suppose.
Did she struggle to get a top?
Just
I
pick up
don't
Swans.
know. I wasn't really there. I couldn't really say what was going through her head.
We think you're the expert on this, John. Seeing
Clearly I
as
am.
you brought the
Leading
story up.
authority on Google Street View boobs.
/ singular boob revealing.
Is there a better word than Google Satellite? Google Maps satellite. What am I trying to say? Like
It is satellite view, I think.
it's
That's what
satellite
it's
view.
called.
Yeah, satellite view.
Where you zoom in on a globe, like a 3D.
Well, it's Google
globe.
Earth. It used to be called Google
Yeah,
Earth.
Google.
But now,
now
then that became Google Maps.
it just got absorbed into
and you
it,
can
didn't it?
switch
Yeah.
from map view to satellite view.
I forget about that because that used to be quite exciting.
You still get 3D buildings, don't you?
Yeah.
3D
in
graphics.
certain
Like
places.
Cheltenham Town Hall is 3D graphics.
But
Is
it'd
it?
have to be
Yeah.
massive. It'd be
I think it has
gigantic.
to be a
Yeah.
building of interest. The
Yes,
whole of
yeah, but
Manhattan
It's like Nickelodeon 3D Movie Maker rendered.
Yeah.
I love that you bring that up.
Yeah, and but they're there, and like Eagle Tower's there, and
Eagle Tower.
Well, when the reason I'm bringing it up is that when like Google Earth was really becoming a thing, and everyone was like the novelty of, oh, I'll find my house, or ooh.
Oh, where I am.
Like
Oh,
I remember,
no.
like we found my old family house, and you could see in the back garden.
it's definitely there.
It was a sunny day,
Screw you, flat
You can
earthers.
see Robin's bum.
and we had the no, not my brother's arse. You can see the rabbit hutches in the back garden. So we were like, oh, that's when we had rabbits when that photo was taken.
Yeah.
But people you can find out online. People have done things like the 10 creepiest things we found on
Yeah,
Google Earth.
Yeah.
There's some weird.
There's
I've
one where
looked at
it
a few
looks
of
like
those.
someone's dragging a body down a pier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was
That's-
thinking of.
yeah.
It's like there's a wet smear like going
It's
down.
like a blood. It's like a red
And there's
wet
that,
smear going down, and then there's two blokes. One who looks like he's standing up, one who looks like he isn't. Yeah.
You've
And
got to
that's
think
what it
these
looks
things are like set up or something, but you can't because you can't react to the car. Like you have to just react to the car. Like
Well, I guess you've got to think like how anything innocent might look dodgy in the wrong context. Like
there's that famous one which it's like a street in Japan, I think, and it's just loads of people with pigeon masks on, just like either side of the road. And as the car's driving down, you're like going down this avenue of pigeon men. It's proper creepy and weird. It's like they stumbled across the pigeon cult going out for their daily walk.
I used to hear that if you looked at the Googleplex on Google Maps, which is the Google
Headquarters.
complex in San
Oh, right,
Francisco,
yeah.
you can see like it's where the car started. So like you go down that road and it's got all the Google employees are going like, "Woo,
Oh yeah, they're out on the lawn,
yeah.
aren't they, or something? Yeah.
Giving it all that, like you
Cocky
do.
bastards.
Cocky bastards, living
God,
it
I
up
hate them.
in the Googleplex.
Oh,
Would that be a fun place to work or an absolute nightmare to
There's a
work?
film about working at Google called The Internship,
yeah, I haven't
Which
seen it.
and it's just basically a huge advert for Google,
Yeah.
starring Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson.
You do have to wonder, aside from, I know the answer is money, but how did that get made?
Money,
money.
Oh, right, yeah. You
like the Han Solo film. Oh,
Oh.
I'm
Just quickly going back to Google, I think it would be quite a fun place to work.
You've got to hope, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think
Apparently,
it's a cutting edge place to work.
apparently they give you 25% of your paid time to work on personal projects. The catch being anything that you learn / make in that time kind of belongs to them.
They own?
I
Yeah.
guess.
You've got to sign a contract. Anything you invent is owned by Google, herewith and forevermore.
Yeah, wait,
I
and
know-
your blood.
I know Google, I think they have like a company policy which is like, don't be evil. I know that sounds...
Yeah, no, they do. Yeah.
Evil's a spectrum, though, John. Thanos doesn't think he's evil.
No.
And
That's two film references
know.
in a minute. That's
I know, it's
impressive.
good,
Pretty
Yeah.
good, yeah, let's go for a third.
The two most recent films I've seen.
he's a real connoisseur.
Yeah.
He can see Marvel and Disney
Yeah.
movies.
Boy.
And they're
They're
interchangeable.
both Disney as well.
Yeah, I'll go Disney.
But like, isn't it like when Google Doodles became a thing? Wasn't there like, I read there was one guy who was just like a really low-ranking member of staff, and when they did the first ever Google Doodle, they were like, "Oh, Jeff, come up with something. Just do something quirky.
Just
today."
piss something out,
like
Jeff.
the intern." And he's like, and he did a hand drew like a shitty Google logo, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's charming."
Hurrah!
And they were like, "Jeff, can you do another?" And then another.
Jeff, could this be a
And
full-time
now,
job?
He's been doing it for like years, and now he's like creative director, and his full-time job is sourcing the Google Doodles and going to like.
Some of them are like super interactive.
Yeah.
There was that amazing one that you could play music on. I loved that one. It's like your keyboard became a piano keyboard, and you could
there's some
literally
they're
play
all,
music.
They're all still out there somewhere. You can just go in and get
It's an
them.
archive, is there?
There was one where it was all dots, and you would move your mouse, and the dots would move around.
Yes, I do remember that.
yeah.
There was Pac-Man.
Yeah.
One day it just became a Pac-Man
Well, Google
map.
Maps had Pac-Man. There were
What?
certain cities you could go in for like days at a time, and
Guess-
there was a Pac-Man icon in the bottom corner, and you click that, and you could play Pac-Man
On the
on
streets.
Street View.
That's
You
amazing.
I
probably
missed
it's
it.
still on there.
I
yeah.
missed that.
They probably keep like a legacy version
It's
of all
like
the cool stuff.
It
they
probably
do.
is San Francisco even, But yeah, different places. London, I'm sure you could do one in London at one point.
London town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, right? I've been there.
Only you're playing.
Didn't see a massive Pac-Man rolling down the street. But,
Well,
You will.
it's got a
one day.
The OK Go's latest video was comparatively low key compared to some of their big projects. They led a street parade through some streets in a city, and when viewed from above, they'd written OK Go
That's quite
in the streets.
People run those sorts of things now. You see lots of joggers. A guy in Manchester ran like a heart shape, like onto the streets of Manchester, and then MCR in the middle. And he did it on whatever the tracking app is. It shows your route.
So you can see.
Strava. Or is that bikes? Anyway. And it says MCR and it's a heart, and that's the route he took. It's really good.
What does MCR?
Manchester.
Oh. Yeah, I thought it'd be like Manchester something.
Oh no, but it's a heart with MCR.
Yeah, but I thought it'd be like the Manchester Community Railway.
Oh no, but
MCR.
it was to do with the anniversary of the terror attack.
It's cool though.
Very good. Should we do some hates?
Yeah, do some hate.
Fire.
I hate it when Nick eats
eats
pizza-flavoured Pringles
Doesn't
on a
offer me any. Well,
podcast.
he's
Oh,
offered me
for
some now,
God.
so I love it when Nick offers me pizza Pringles.
I'm just being my professional best.
That's fine. Well, the question is, do I start with a hate, or do I wait for those Pringles to come to me, and then someone else talks
Well, let's
while
do
I
the
eat?
right. Nick can start.
Well,
you take that.
This podcast is already ruined because of the eating of crisps.
Hey now. It's ASMR now.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, that's nice.
People are into that.
They remind me of something.
Is it pizza?
It is. Yeah.
Bit of a hope.
I can kick us off.
Mm.
I hate it when people in pubs sit at the bar and drink.
Selfish bastards.
Like, especially at busy bars.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like,
yeah, okay.
I get
Yeah,
it,
I hate that.
that back in medieval times or whatever, or maybe when the dinosaurs walked the earth, the bar was the place you sat. I get that's how it used to be, but not anymore. That's the place we get served. We need space, and usually there's very little space at a bar, and it's very hard to get the attention of some waiting staff, especially on a night out.
Oh.
And then you got, Chungus and his mate, Chungus 2, just sat there, chatting away, taking up a third, or even more than that, of the bar's, prime getting served real estate.
Yeah.
Question: are they sitting, or are they leaning?
Both are a problem.
If there are seats, is it not in some way forgivable?
I'd say it's then the bar's fault.
Yeah. Thing is, you tend to find seats in, I'm going to do inverted commas here, old man pubs, if that reference makes sense. Rather than bars, for example, Bottle of Sauce, which is one of our regular bars. There's not really stools at that sort of bar, but I agree that people who get served, have their drinks, and then continue to stand at the bar are worse than Hitler.
Yeah. Because you know why they're doing it. There's two kinds of people, I think. There's the old man, I was a veteran, I fought to free you from the Nazis, man. Not that that's...
That's a bad thing. I
He's
think
a
we
really
can all
bad
agree,
guy.
Yeah.
He's awful, isn't he?
He's there in his full suit and tie, with his friend, chatting about the old days, and they're completely oblivious. That's the one species. And then there's the other species, which is people our age, who are just holding their position at the bar so they can keep getting drinks easily.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to do what the rest of us have to do, which is fight through the crowds.
I've got a certain tolerance for people who aren't aware of what they're doing.
Yeah.
A certain tolerance,
A certain-
not a tolerance.
I would refer you. I will refer
Don't go as
you.
far as-
Yeah.
I will refer you, sir, to the previous 21 episodes of our podcast,
Where you have exhibited zero
where
tolerance.
we all do nothing but
I said
complain.
a certain tolerance.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm talking a 1% tolerance.
Fraction of a tolerance.
I'll wait for 2 seconds while I huff. If they're not out of my way by then, they're getting kicked in the back of the head.
And that's impressive,
And that's
because
tolerance.
they might be taller than you.
Yeah, I mean, I said someone else could kick them in the head.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a dinosaur.
Yeah, or you could get on my back.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
That
okay.
sounds much better.
Well, we were in a bar.
Dinosaurs will take ages.
Life finds a way, though.
Carry on, John.
Life does find a way. We were in a bar last Saturday when we were at Comic-Con.
Yes, we were.
Lovely.
And
You went and got our drinks,
I went to
actually.
get drinks, and 40 minutes later, when I came back with those drinks, I was complaining because...
How much were they?
Oh,
Expensive.
a lot.
Extortionate.
London, yeah.
I'd met and got to know very well an entirely new person in the time that it took you to get drinks.
It was
And
hard.
then she'd gone as well.
Yeah.
It was the whole life cycle of a friendship was over by the time you came back.
It was hard going, and we were getting and there were just a ton of people at the bar, and there was some football game going on, so it was just a lot of cheering, a lot of
Champions
screaming.
League,
Yeah,
football.
people were going mental.
I was
for it.
supporting the champions.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? But they,
Good knowledge, Nick.
Yeah,
I think
nailed
part-
that one.
I think part of the hold-up was the staff were slow, but also they were under a lot of pressure. And the guy in front of me was ordering like 17 drinks. It was just taking forever. Like, and this, and this. And he was loading up his tray. And clearly everyone had been waiting a while. And it was noisy and hot. And no one was having a good time. But me and David, we were getting closer and closer. And like, okay, now comes our moment. Now comes our moment. We're getting so close. We're getting so close. And then like the waitress is like, oh yeah, well, what do you want? I was like, okay, yeah, we'll have a couple of pints, bing bang bong. And then the guy next to me, who was proper...
Random chap.
Random chap, no idea who he is. Proper kind of like just big slab of gristle, big slab
Just
of gristle.
all fuck muscle.
And he was like, all right, mate. He's like, all right, miss, we're all waiting here, I'm like...
What's that going to achieve?
And I'm like...
It's a thankless task being bar staff
Oh, God.
in that sort of situation.
We've all been waiting 20 minutes here. It's like, yeah.
What
So,
What can she possibly do about
you
that?
You just said it yourself. We've all been waiting 20
Yeah.
minutes here.
Yeah.
So fuck off.
Jeez, I mean, yeah.
But the it's a thankless task, bar staff. But there's nothing more frustrating than knowing you were before someone and they just go, "Yeah, I'm next."
Yeah, they lean in.
You're fucking not.
Yeah.
You're not next. I mean, I once told a kid he wasn't next when he tried to go in front of me, and I'd do it again. That was recently.
And when you woke
He
up...
went to serve the kid first. I went, actually, I was first. Because he's got to learn, this kid.
And he
Otherwise,
did.
how's he going to learn?
He went away
He'll
and
think he can just
he
do
told
that.
his friends. He said there was a guy at the bar and he didn't let me go.
That was very recently.
That was 20 minutes ago.
And that poor kid was on his way to volunteer at the homeless shelter. And because of you, he had to do it sober.
I thought you were going to say he was taking a lot of pints back to the
I'll tell you where
homeless
it was.
shop.
It was at the... I was watching Hamilton,
Oh.
the musical in London. That's where it was. And it was the break at
Oh, yeah.
half-time.
See, like any
It's a
sort
lot,
of
that's it.
event or show bar is a living nightmare.
And it's very expensive as well.
Yeah.
I think the most outraged I've been by a round of drinks is when I went to see Ocean Colour Scene at the Albert Hall, and we went to a bar around the corner, and I said 3 bottles of Budweiser, please, standard bottles of Budweiser, and I had this was maybe 10 years ago even,
Okay.
something
so
like that, and I had a tenner in my hand.
You'd
I
think
thought,
that'll
I think
cover
that'll
it.
be enough. That'll be enough. 14 quid for 3 small bottles of Budweiser.
That's monstrous.
That is, even now, that's
Yeah.
bad.
So what, we're talking...
That's basically four something. a bottle.
$4.50 for a bottle? $4.60?
But
Something like that.
and this was a while ago.
Yeah. This is back in the
I'd
day.
be annoyed about that now.
Yeah, I would be. I'm still annoyed. I don't know where the bar was, otherwise I'd go back there and I'd burn it to the ground.
Probably the most expensive pint I've ever bought was £6 or so, I think. That was a place in Cheltenham, which is...
Oh, I know the place you think
Yeah, yeah.
of. 6 degrees
I
of
mean,
separation, or whatever it's called now.
Oh, it was like a beef restaurant. Some kind of, some
No,
kind
there's
of...
beef. Oh!
That's your problem.
Yeah.
The ox.
The ox, yeah.
Was it a glass of beef? Was it beef
It
minute?
That does sound... I'd pay 6 quid for a glass of beef.
It may
I'd
have
pay
been
more than that.
a pint of your finest beef runnings, please.
Beef Runnings.
Beef Runnings.
Beef
That
Runnings.
was my rap name.
Is that the
back
second?
in-
Is that the movie that came
cuts.
after Cool Runnings? About a load of
Straight
hench dudes jammed into a little flume.
Oh.
What was that thing that they rode? Bobsleigh. There we go.
Yeah.
Got it in the end.
Charming
No, he was the
girl, we got
director.
a bobsleigh team.
I don't know
Good
what
film,
I'm doing.
that. Cool Runnings. I only saw that in the last year.
I don't think I've seen...
It's
You'll
not that
like
much of a
it.
shocking
I've
thing.
seen
It is
bits
good.
of it.
It's very 80s.
Everyone talks about it as being like really good.
It's one of those cult films, I
Yeah,
would say.
it
But
is.
we'll get a sequel in about 10 years.
Well, I was just going to ask, is that because they've just announced like Top Gun 2?
Top Gun
Is
2
that-
has started filming. Fucking hell.
Who cares?
I mean,
Who
I
cares?
can't think of anything I'm less excited about. And I saw the Han Solo film.
Oh, my. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you've seen it.
I also have seen it.
Oh.
Well, Nick and I think, to a degree, disagree.
Oh.
I think to a degree we disagree to a degree. Are you going to talk about it as your hate?
No, I'm not. I don't
Okay.
hate it, just for the record. I'm just wailing on it because people seem to like it.
It's easy and it's fun. I'd
Yeah.
probably do it as well, even though I liked it.
I won't be talking about it in depth today, but if you'd like to receive my in-depth review, all you've got to do is give me a phone call.
I might have to. Can we take a quick
a
time
timeout?
out? Because my
Oh,
nose
my.
is
Are you
about
dying?
to explode. Yeah.
Okay.
Recess.
Dun, 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 dun,
2 hours later.
dun, 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 dun,
Oh.
dun, dun, dun.
John's
We're
back.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Hello, it is now Saturday morning.
Hello, I'd like to talk about my hate. Fuck nature and all its ungodly
Trying
creations.
to change your mind, and it might be pollen now.
No, I'm gonna stick with my guns.
Okay.
but I'm going to do my hate now before I die.
You do it.
on
now.
air.
Okay.
You do yours now.
Okay,
John.
cool.
I hate, and Nick got a flavour of this last night, but I hate overly, well, twofold. Certain performances, and secondly, very on-the-nose lyrics in earnest song performances. By which I mean,
Okay.
I was at a social affair just the other day, a big awards ceremony,
Lovely.
shall we say. Not glamorous, I was kind of just helping out behind the scenes.
Sure.
However,
So you didn't win any awards, did you?
I'd be singing a very different tune if I'd come away with even half an award, I can say. But no, as part of the entertainment, we had a girl singing. And she was very, very talented, had an amazing voice. But all her however, she was a student who was studying music.
Oh.
And she was singing her own compositions.
Sure.
And again, really, really good voice. But I found all her song lyrics were a bit on the nose. By which I mean, she was like, okay, I'm going to sing a song of my own composition, you know, and it's about like a journey I went on.
Oh, sure.
You know, because
Down the M25.
well, yeah. And it's like, you know, I grew up on an island. I grew up on like, you know, the Isle of Man. Canvey?
Canvey Island.
Where's that?
Essex.
Is that
Great, thanks.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm guessing. What
Canvey.
island?
I
It
grew
was
up-
Isle of Man.
Island.
It
Which
was Isle of
island?
Man.
I grew up on Canvey Island. Who knows?
It
Yeah.
wasn't. It was
And she's
Isle
like,
of
you
Which
know,
island?
Isle of Man.
Not
Is that
really
really
an
an
island in
island?
the traditional sense, is it?
We're surrounded by water.
Yeah, no, it's an island. But
Yeah.
I assumed she meant somewhere like
Island
Castaway,
life.
like Tom Hanks. In
Oh
Castaway.
no, that'd be more exciting.
Yeah.
Like
She-
Sand and
she's
All
Pine.
basically-
right, no,
She's
carry on.
basically saying, like, you know, so she's like, you know, so, you know, I just want to sing a song about my experiences and my adventure, like, you know, coming to uni. And she's like, and this song's called My Little Island. I'm like, okay. And she's like, you know, I went on a journey.
God, she's got a very deep voice.
Yeah,
hasn't she?
that's what she's
She's
saying.
very
Like, that's the
gruff.
problem. But she's like, you know, but once was a girl who grew up on a little island, and that was me. And then she went on a journey
Hang on.
far away.
There's no subtlety here.
And then she learned things and grew as a person.
Now she's
and,
playing in the awards ceremony.
And it was like,
She went to uni.
and it's like,
Right here.
Right now.
Right now. And then Fatboy Slim comes on. Right here.
Right now.
and it's like,
And now we're looking to the future. To things that haven't happened yet.
Look, there's John.
he's not enjoying himself.
He's got hay fever real bad. He'll record a podcast later.
Maybe you should try Valoratidine because the other version of the antihistamine tablet doesn't work on him.
Nothing rhymes with antihistamine.
No.
Not properly, anyway.
Antihistamine?
Bean.
Bean?
But you need more syllables.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Miss
Anyway.
Janine.
Miss Janine.
Yeah.
Where's my antihistamine?
Miss Janine. There you go. You can take that one to the bank.
Biggest reggae hit of the 1980s. Yeah.
Oh, Miss Janine. Sorry, that was racist.
Let's
Please
not. Title of the episode. Sorry, that was racist.
Sorry, that was
Please.
racist. Please
Yeah,
keep this.
so my point is, and then she sang another song, and it was like, and now, you know, here's another song about me growing as a person. And it's like, I was a little uncertain at the time of my life.
All their songs are a set ilk, aren't they?
And now I know a few things that I didn't know before.
This is very shit. I mean,
Adventures. Of course, now,
Are you paraphrasing or is this roughly?
give or take.
Okay.
Like, it was very like, maybe kind of like X Factor finale, kind of.
Gotcha.
Everyone has a journey. Songs are transformative. They're not meant to be weird or quirky or, you know, just good. You know, they just like,
There's no imagination behind
my
it.
point is, it's just so safe.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
Like the Han Solo movie.
oh, for goodness
Oh,
sake.
no, I'm not
no.
talking about it.
I'm just saying, like, you know, if you've got your moment on the stage, you could have done anything. You could have dazzled us. But it's like you just chose to sing about the journey of a young kid who went away to start their adult life. Like, that's,
Which is something that everyone
Yeah.
does.
that is every song ever.
No, I agree because people, artists who speak like, "Oh, I've had such problems in my life. I've been through so much, but my parents have always been there for me."
It's like, yeah.
What you mean, like most parents?
Yeah, like, statistically.
Like, I wouldn't be here without my parents. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
true.
Yeah. Genetically,
right.
biologically so.
Yeah.
I think some artists crave that. though. Like, and at the
That
end of the day,
moment to-
everyone has had a thing that is art worthy.
Yeah.
I said with in air quotes there, because like statistically speaking, everyone is going to have a moment in their life where something tragic or incredible happens. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, you will go through stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
and you can't claim that you're the only one who is.
But it's just like so much of it is always like they sing a song and it's how like they had a dream, they followed it, it was a little scary, but they believed in themselves. But that dream is always to get to a position where you have a platform to sing about achieving your dream. It seems very...
so cyclic, self-fulfilling, isn't it?
But I'd much rather hear a song about, I don't know, some guy whose dream was to eat a whole pineapple without chewing. You know, honestly, that'd be quite...
And he sung a song.
So painful.
That'd be quite entertaining.
But he sung a song while eating the pineapple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, case in point, like, you, Nick, on a previous episode, mentioned a band called Noah.
I don't think I actually did mention
Did
it.
you not? I thought you said
No,
you
I said I was going to, but
Ah.
I don't think I did. Did I
completely-
actually? Maybe I did.
Maybe you did.
This is, I'm starting to worry about
Anyway,
this.
there is a band you like called Noah.
There is a band I like.
And their music is... And I remember, like, when you played us some, I was like, I'm not going to listen to this every day of my life, but I really, really, really admire what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like, it's weird. And it's still tuneful. Like, you can still dance to it, but the tune always goes in weird ways. And I'm like...
It turns right angles and
And I'm
goes
like,
upside
that's
down.
dangerous. I like it. Because it's like, anyone could stand up there and sing about, I don't know, the usual crap. You know, just stand up there and just find a weird way of doing the same thing.
How weird is it that 99.99999% of musicians do exactly that? They just sing about the same stuff. It's really strange.
But do they know it's because it will sell? And not to be
Maybe.
cynical, but it's like, they probably have managers and producers. And it's
Or
like,
is it because the lyrics come second? So it's like they've come up with this sweet hook and this amazing melody or whatever, and this really cool instrument that's going to play it, or this voice on a synthesizer or whatever, and then it's like, oh yeah, shit, yeah, we've got to sing on this. I was just singing about love.
But also it's like, you know, given that most pop stars seem to peak in like, well, not peak, but really get there in maybe like their early 20s, like excuse very young. It's like, certainly now as I get older and more alienated from, you know, popular society, I don't want a 22-year-old singing about, I made it, you know, like, live a dream, it was a long journey. It's like, really?
Wasn't
was
that
it?
long, was it?
Maybe a year out of uni?
How's your back?
You got that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Generic singer.
Yeah, how's your back? Because I got out of bed this morning and hurt myself, and I don't, you know.
I'm crying because of nature today. Like, what have you got? What's happened to you?
The thing is, as much as social media is a cancer on us all,
Yeah, I think we can.
Should write a song about it.
I know, right? People know a lot more about a lot more stuff. People are more well informed, generally speaking, because of social media. That's probably its saving grace in a lot of ways. And I feel like you probably, not for much longer anyway, can't get away with this sort of song or something as generic as that without having a little bit of flair or imagination, because people are wise to it now, or wiser. I'd like to think so, anyway.
And
Maybe I'm just older.
And yet, there's still, I mean, like, I know Top of the Pops doesn't exist anymore, but like, the
God,
top,
John's so old.
I am so old.
Top of the Pops.
But it's like, there's
Top
still,
of them pops.
there's still a massive market, is there not, for quite safe
Probably.
pop?
Wait, do you want?
Probably.
Oh, there it
But
is.
like 15-year-olds will listen to it and go and think, I have been through so much.
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
This
You
song is
haven't.
about me.
I can't even remember being 15. I can't remember a time when I didn't have back problems.
Well, I fell out of a tree when I was a teenager and broke my back, so that's when it all began.
This guy.
So
Hey, mine I'm just old. That's why mine hurts.
I was
I
at,
cancelled my chiropractor appointment yesterday because the train got cancelled.
oh, really?
Yeah, because there might be thunderstorms.
And trains are notoriously high off the ground.
This country. Anyway,
Oh,
I'm
here we
sorry.
go, here we go, yeah.
This country, whenever anything is slightly left of centre weather-wise, or it might be a bit hot today, or it might thunder and lightning later.
Let's shut
we
it
better
down.
cancel everything. Fucking hell. It is.
No,
This
it's true.
country.
You're not wrong. No, we had.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I was moaning about.
Oh, yeah.
I was moaning about music.
We've just been saying off air, which is for those who don't speak the lingo, when the microphones aren't recording.
yeah, while you were
We've just been
emptying your
saying-
nose,
We've just been saying we're just going off on tangents.
we're very
today.
rambly today.
So sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I
But
mean,
we haven't done one of these for like 2-3
yeah,
weeks.
we've complete. Yeah,
I forgot how to do
We've
it.
got a lot to talk about.
that's what people pay for.
So
I mean, they don't. It's free. You
they
can
don't-
listen to it for free, but it's like this is what people want. I mean, I could go on about music, but
If you
I
want.
think
I
I've
think
made
you've
my
made your point.
point. Yeah.
Well, okay. Shall
Well,
I
that's
go?
like two conflicting points of view there.
Go on or don't. Whatever.
I think you're done, John.
Okay.
What about
What about your hate?
I'm going to go for it now.
Oh, great.
I've got to go on my phone for the purposes of my hate, which you'll find out.
I see. I thought you were looking at the hate mail.
Now, I'm talking here as someone who aspired to be a local journalist.
Okay.
My hate is local journalists.
Right.
And specifically, local newspapers and the fucking shit that comes out of their social media accounts these days. Now, I have taken the douchebag method of calling them out on it on Twitter by retweeting their mundane headlines and just putting breaking or latest.
Right, yeah.
Things like that, which is an absolute prick thing to do, but whatever.
Very funny.
You've got to find some way to get through the day.
The
Really.
day of, I'll give you a few stories just to paint a picture. The day of the royal wedding, there was a newspaper article, an online article via Gloss Live Online, which is our local Twitter account newspaper, that said, streets are like ghost town during royal wedding. And the photos were of streets that are normally quiet. It wasn't the high street. It was like side streets in the arse end of nowhere in some village going, and I just thought, I can't let this slide. I should have left it. But and even in one of the photos, there was a person in it. There was one person in the middle of it. Wait for him to go. Wait 20 seconds for them to go out of frame.
Maybe he was a ghost.
And he just said, "It's like a ghost town. Don't have a photo of someone in it." So I just retweeted and I thought, breaking, streets that are normally quiet are quiet. And it was just like, what is this all about? I mean, there's so many of them. I took some screenshots of things I've called out. This was tweeted by a local journalist. So you obviously get if you put a link into a tweet, you'll get a little preview box. So I'll read you the preview box and then I'll read you the tweet. But then I'll tell you what I said.
Okay.
So the headline is, 4 sex offenders missing in county, but you can't know who. And then this journalist said, you're not allowed to know who they are. So I should have left it. So I tweeted to him, worst game show idea ever. And I just thought, why is all this?
You don't know who they are.
And it's just such an unbelievable... It's all clickbait now. It's so much clickbait. Oh, here's another one. This is the headline. Okay. Cheltenham family's lunch ruined by man with his feet out at popular restaurant. That's local news.
What?
That's local news.
Man with his feet
that
out.
was at Wagamama's in Cheltenham.
And apparently someone had their feet out.
Someone had their feet out at Wagamama's and it made the newspaper.
What? Were they smelly?
Dunno.
It doesn't say it in the headline.
Thing is, alright, don't get your feet out at a restaurant. Fine. I agree with that. It's not news.
No.
It's not news.
We all encounter something of that level of significance every day.
You do have to wonder how a story how does that get into... And I know, because they're just desperate for content, but how mechanically does that get into the newspaper? Does that family call the local news?
Someone must have complained to the newspaper.
Well, this is not funny in any way, because someone died, unfortunately. And I was in Pittville Park, which is the park near us, the other day, and someone had died, and I saw all the police there and everything, so I was walking the dog. And I tweeted just to the newspaper, just saying, what's going on? And then they read my tweet and went down there themselves.
Yeah.
Why am I giving them leads? Do you know what I mean? It's just, local journalism is just on its arse.
It's also
and increasingly so over the last 10 years.
Well, it's also like the typos. Yeah. I mean, we have a couple of local rags, and I remember just, in the service station looking at the front, the thing, it's like, that's spelt wrong.
Oh, it's full of it. I don't even pay attention
spelt wrong.
to that anymore.
First 3 paragraphs, I spotted 2 errors. It was crazy.
But I've written for local newspapers, and I volunteered at this newspaper when I was trying to get into journalism and everything. But it's just increasingly bad.
A few years ago, when I was looking for a job, I think I got in touch with what at the time was a relatively new local newspaper, who I won't name, mostly because I can't remember what they were called.
Brilliant.
But they were a free newspaper. That was just, you get it in supermarkets or I guess on buses, a bit like the Metro, that kind of thing. But it was Cheltenham based, and I was looking for.
Oh, I know the one.
Yeah,
it's bloody awful.
I was looking for and I thought maybe I could do a bit of journalism.
I'll name it if you want.
Well, just let me make my point.
Okay.
But the guy got back to me and he said, we can't pay you, but yeah, if you ever wanted to send us anything, I was like, oh, okay. I never chased it up, but after following it for a couple of issues, just to kind of get the lay of the land, I noticed that they always had a full page column from the local Tory candidate at the time, not the MP, who later became the MP. And I remember thinking,
He's getting a lot of page
it
space.
just struck me after a while. I was like, is this a real newspaper?
No, it's not.
Oh, is
It's
it?
not a real newspaper. It's one guy's project.
It's like an
And it's the
advertorial thing.
worst. Honestly, I'm bad-mouthing the local newspaper. This is not a newspaper.
Right,
It's
yeah.
called the Cheltonian.
Oh, right, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
It's
And
out there.
Oh, no, maybe it had a different name back then. That's not what I... Anyway.
Or Cheltenham something. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, we'll avoid...
It's bloody
libel.
awful. And
yeah.
there was one article they wrote on the local football club. And honestly, this guy, kid, whatever, had just gone on Wikipedia. There was no knowledge. He'd just gone on Wikipedia and said, oh, they got relegated this year. Oh, that was a failure. And there was no knowledge behind it. And it was just like, you've clearly just gone on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And I should have left it. But but I tweeted him just to say, you've clearly just taken this off Wikipedia. You're not going to get anywhere doing this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have, maybe, but he blocked me.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't happy. But I wasn't abusive or anything. I just said, look, come on.
Told him how it was.
Just, this is bad. You won't get anywhere doing this sort of thing.
I remember my local paper when I used to live in Salisbury. That's probably just giving it away. It doesn't really matter. But they had an absolutely awful comic strip. And everyone I ever spoke to about it would complain about it. And it was called something like Smudge or something. It was like a 3-panel classic, like...
Yeah, I think I can almost
strip.
picture it.
And it was... the smudge wasn't anything. It wasn't a dog, it wasn't a cat, it wasn't an animal. It was just this, like, black, like, thumb smear. Like someone
Oh,
accidentally...
like a smudge of ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I never understood it. I think the joke was basically that he was a bit of a grimy little shit, basically. But I remember one strip was just like... It was like the first panel was a bin. And the next panel was the bin opening. And the third panel was the bin open with him coming out going, it's dirty in here, or something. And that was it. Like, that was genuinely the level of it. So I messaged them. I sent them an email, sent them Catmarang, my comic strip that I draw, and said, alongside Smudge, are you interested in a second comic strip?
Yeah.
You know, some newspapers have, like, a whole
Oh,
funny
yeah.
section.
Big time.
And they came back to me and said, oh, we don't have any budget for that. And I kid you not, I replied to them and I said, I'll do it for free if you put my URL in there so that I can just get a little bit of like
Yeah,
publicity and popularity off the back. And they never replied.
Bastards.
I was giving them free content. I was offering to. And it was better than the crap they had.
Unfortunately, some people are just shit at their jobs.
Yeah.
And that's very true in local journalism. It's called the Cheltenham Standard.
There we go.
Ah.
The Cheltonians are a magazine, which is
So-
actually not too bad.
That's good. They
Sorry,
will know. They
Cheltonian.
will know who to sue
Yeah.
now
It
once
was the
this
Cheltenham Standard, just
podcast
to
goes.
correct myself.
Well,
Now, I'll sorry, John. I'll just show this to Nick quickly.
please
Oh,
do.
show
Please
me.
do.
Because this is probably where my hatred of local news emanates. And this is the time that my mother and I were interviewed because
Oh,
our
God.
football teams were playing one another.
I know this one.
Right.
And I said to my mum, wouldn't it be funny, Mum? I said, if it was on the front page, because I thought this is a non-story. Now, on the Saturday, guess who was on the front page?
I'm going to guess you.
Me
and your
my
mum.
Follow me and my mum. Now what I'm gonna do, Nick, I'm gonna show you a picture of that front page, and you read to me,
Okay.
on the mic,
Yep.
out loud, the headline next to it.
Okay.
This is a photo of me hugging my mum on the front page of the local newspaper.
And the headline next to you guys. Child sex abuse. Outrage at appeal. Paedophile's alleged victim speaks up.
Now,
Oh, God.
in the photo,
Oh, God, you're there.
I look older than my mum
Yes, you do.
because I wasn't in a very good state at that time. So I look like a paedophile.
Oh, no. I can't believe it.
And the amount of messages I got after that
Oh,
was
I can imagine.
unprecedented, some would say.
Wow.
Jesus.
I actually complained.
Yeah, right.
I complained to him, and I got an apology from the sports editor.
That's actually a massive, like, it's an epic fail.
Well, it's because I've done law for journalists, a module in law for journalists as part of my sports journalism course at university. And yeah, that is, technically I could have sued them.
But that's like, that's a
Technically.
design error. That's like formatting
Yeah.
fuck up 101, that is.
That's just people just
But
not
if you put a
taking the time.
headline next to a photo, and it's
That's the biggest image on the cover, and it's next
Yeah.
to the biggest words on the
it's
cover.
quite prevalent in politics, they'll put a photo of, say, Jeremy Corbyn, and then an inflammatory headline relating to another story.
But they'll use it to create...
next to Jeremy Corbyn, and then you put them
because it's
together.
just kind of like back.
It's
in the back of
subconscious.
your
Well,
head.
in your
Yeah.
mind.
You just go negative.
Negative, negative,
Yeah,
negative.
exactly.
yeah.
And I don't
You
give-
were a victim of that.
I know.
That's
I don't
fucking
give a
insane.
shit really, but it was just like, oh come on. I think it's quite funny.
That's very bad.
It's probably just as well that I found it quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise, as you say,
Yeah.
you'd be suing.
Well, today I got to yesterday in fact I got to pose for a local newspaper style photo because in my workplace I have an air conditioning unit directly above my computer, and a few weeks
Is
ago,
it a photo of you pointing at it?
yes, it is. Yeah. A few weeks ago, I came in after a weekend, and there was like a weird like residue on my desk.
Gross.
Yeah, it was kind of gross. And
It
I
wasn't
had-
your usual residue.
No,
this was a different
it
residue.
got. If anything, it had cleaned up the residue I normally leave,
Right.
as a thin veneer across all my belongings.
Because you're like a human slug.
Basically, yeah, it protects and lubricates.
Enriches.
And I this weird. Also on my desk, I had a small printed booklet which we've been working on, and it was absolutely
Carry on.
it was absolutely drenched. There was a small kind of puddle by my computer. I was like, "Well, this isn't good." And I looked at the air conditioning, and I thought that must have leaked. Can't have been much. Dry it up. We'll never talk of this again. Earlier this week, water just suddenly. I'm tapping away, doing my work, and then suddenly a torrent of water starts pouring out of the air conditioning unit all over my computer and my phone.
Oh, God.
And I just go like, shit. And, the person who sits next to me has like a kind of ornamental mug in which she keeps her pens.
Oh, sure.
And I just grab the mug, threw the pens
All over
and then leapt up to hold it like under this torrent. And then people like running around, like switching the air conditioning off, getting a bucket, that kind of thing. And then we kind of like thought, well, it's all over the computer, but we've, unplugged everything. Everyone back up, shut your computers down. And then we got a couple of like the handymen came up and they were like, yeah, everyone quick save. If it blows, it will knock out these 3 desks and everything.
Nice.
But panic.
Oh, that was the priority. Save your work. Don't step away from the machines until you've saved your work.
Yeah, but basically, yeah. But then it was like, panic over. I think we got this sorted. It's fine. They open up the back and they take like I don't know, maybe they drain a bit of excess water and they go, right, it's fine, it's fixed. Then it happened again on Thursday.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, I was just like, derpy. And I was thinking, oh man,
Derpy-der.
this is such a busy day.
You're such a vital employee, John.
I am a very derpy.
Doopy-doopy-doopy-doo.
I was like, it's such a busy day. We've got a big meeting in the afternoon, and then hang on a minute, and it just does it all over again. And once again, I was like, shit.
And you grab Karen's pens
And
again.
I did the exact same thing again.
My deja vu.
Then everyone's getting really pissed off this time. And
Is
now,
this just a ploy to steal Karen's pens?
Yeah.
I just love that mug. I just want my mug so much. But then, of course, once it was done, one of my colleagues was like, "This is ridiculous. We need
It's an outrage.
we need to take some evidence of this." So she's like, "I'm going to take some pictures." And then I was like, just basically standing on my desk, just doing the pose,
The local press pose.
like as Peter
You see
Kay.
them on the holiday programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Peter Kay.
Yeah.
You come to your holiday villa and it's just a poo on the floor. I always just stand there and go like, just point.
Looking at the camera,
When I
pointing
got
at
to
the
my hotel room, what can only be described as shit came out of the taps.
I turned on the tap, and what can only be described as shit came out. I was washing my children in shit. So that was my claim to fame. And then this morning, it's not leaking, but there's like a great big brown sickly stain in
Oh,
the ceiling
beautiful.
around it, which is not great.
Lovely.
Anyway, my point is that local media is increasingly bad. And
Yes.
that's what I hate.
So, look, and also to bookend it, look forward to seeing my photo on the cover of a local newspaper. Local maniac steals
Yeah.
pens.
They'd be right. Let's stop him. Fuck.
Admittedly, I was high on air conditioning effluent.
That would be a more flattering headline than the actual one, which is local man collapses through hay fever.
Local man, weak and indoorsy.
Wheezy, as he's known to his friends.
Panty Joe. Oh no, don't say that. That's really bad. Anyway, should we just blaze on through to the loves?
Have we got any hate mail?
I don't know if we have.
To be fair, it was a bit of hiatus.
Frankly, I could have my phone in my hand, but instead have a delicious kiwi and lime cider.
Ah, well, I see where your
you know,
priorities
prior-
are.
it's our professionalism that people
Very
cling to
unprofessional, Lou.
in these uncertain times.
Let's carry on then.
Give us a love.
Okay, well, I guess it's me.
Yeah, I guess it is.
My love is very specific to me and a thing I did once.
Oh.
I made the cover of the
stranger.
local newspaper.
Yeah.
No. I used when I did work experience.
Oh.
And in year 10, I went to this tiny little graphic design company that was based outside of Salisbury, and they, I think they were supposed to be doing graphics for like school textbooks and stuff. But the 2 weeks that I was there, they had no work in at all, and they were like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I know this is your work experience, but you can just sort of mess around on the computers and stuff."
Play solitaire.
And so, yeah, exactly. So it was kind of cool because I got to like use some of the software, and they gave me some, like, they told me the kind of stuff they work on. But I got very bored in the last few days, and so I decided to leave a sort of riddles adventure around the whole office.
Nice.
So I left like a Word text document on the desktop that was just titled some like random numbers, and then in it there was like, I can't remember the riddles now, but basically there would be like sort of jokey puzzle riddle that would point to a location somewhere in the office. And over those 3 days, I was making excuses to walk all around the place and hiding little bits of paper in things like flower pots. Behind the water cooler, at the top of door frames, all sorts of stuff like this. Each one with another riddle that led on to the next clue.
Right.
And it must have been about 20 clues strong.
Nice.
And then I left. And I left that to these people.
Nice.
And I the thing is that the very last clue was my email address, hoping that I would then be able to find out that they'd done it.
Yeah.
And I would have known that I never got an email.
Never got an email.
Never got
That's
an email.
bollocks.
Yeah, it's a real shame. But I am very proud of myself that was what I decided to do with my last 3 days of
The
work
cleaners
experience.
probably had that, didn't
They
they?
probably
Cleaners
did.
probably had that about an hour after you left.
I thought about them though. I did think about the cleaners, and I was like, I'll try and hide
Please
in
don't
places
clean this.
they won't clean.
A
but-
guy, a gentleman was very sadly murdered in America.
Oh no, was it my fault?
No, a
Was it my
gentleman-
riddle?
Direct result of your riddles.
True story now. A gentleman was murdered in America, and as his body was found, the police were searching the area, as they always do, and they found a note, like pinned to a nearby whatever, and it said like, my first is in. My first is in cabbage, but not indoor, Yeah, and he's saying all this stuff like,
Cabbage door.
He goes, I sleep where the sun never shines. You will not find me, though you look twice. And they were like, oh my God, we got a serial killer, And then they find, I think someone finds another note, like further along, and they're like, Jesus Christ, he's going to strike again, and he's left as a clue to his next victim. And then this priest had to come forward and goes like, actually, I'm really sorry. We were having a Easter fun day. And these are the leftover quizzes from our riddle.
Oh my God, what if a similar thing happened with my little riddle quest?
It could happen.
Yeah, because that company doesn't exist anymore. So.
Yeah, because all the executive directors were arrested.
It's because they never responded to riddles.
If they just emailed me, then I'd have known.
They found Jigsaw's puzzle, your Saw-esque puzzle.
play a game?
And that's the thing, you escalated it, didn't you? Because the first note is like, I live in a dark place, you'll never find me. And then they go down to the basement, and there's just like a log with a nail in it, and it swings down. And
there's a human ear attached to it.
Too long, so it just crushes someone in the face. Good times.
You go down to the basement, and it just locks behind.
I did so much work, automated locking systems. It was a lot of tough stuff.
No one could get into the filing cabinet.
just isolating and containing the chlorine gas alone was quite,
and then getting it in in the morning. What's that, Nick? Just my backpack.
I mean, have you ever tried to put a pressurized canister inside a coffee dispenser?
I have. I can tell you,
it was
it's tough.
impossible. My first day of work experience, I went straight into surgery on a cat, which was interesting.
You were a vet then?
I was at a vet, yeah.
No, I wasn't. No, I was just in an office.
No, just back alley. It was a bit late going in. No, I came in and they were like, "Okay, in you come. We're operating."
Get this man prepped.
Show us the kidneys.
I held a warm syringe of cat urine.
Beautiful.
That was my.
And how's that helped you in your working life?
Well, anytime I really need to vocalise piss,
you just think of that day.
I think back to that vet.
Good day.
Oh,
Well, that's my love.
I'm going to sneeze again.
My
John's
riddle
gonna
quest.
sneeze.
Do you want to do your love while
I'll
he
do
explodes?
my love, shall I?
Yeah.
Because John's incapacitated. I love fail videos.
Oh,
I
yes.
do like a fail video. Now, I should stress at this point that I don't want to see anybody get seriously hurt.
I agree.
I want to see them get hurt, but not seriously.
Yes.
But fail videos are excellent. If you've not watched
They
Fail Army
truly
or
are.
the Daily Fail, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Write that down.
Oh, I just got
We
it.
should start that channel.
Is that not real?
I don't know.
I bet it exists.
It might
Must
exist.
exist.
It might. Anyway, fail videos are great.
Yeah, they are.
I love watching them. If I'm trying to pass some time, it's like You've Been Framed and shows like that. I used to love as a kid.
Yeah.
Like bloopers. I love bloopers shows as well, like Auntie's Bloomers.
Oh,
On
are they
BBC.
still on TV?
No,
So
but they
many of
used to
those are just people at weddings dancing on tables, and you're like, just don't get on the table. Oh, he's on the table. He's
gonna
down.
go. He's gonna go.
Down. There we go.
It's sad, but I used to really enjoy RudeTube
Yeah.
on TV.
Yeah,
Because it's
RudeTube.
like, we got YouTube. I never know what to watch.
But someone's like curated it for me. This is
Yeah.
incredible.
Bit of funny stuff, bit of weird stuff.
Oi, oi.
You
The
know?
thing is, presumably that's an incredibly cheap show to make.
Oh my god,
'Cause
yes.
it's all in the public
Oh
domain.
my god, yeah. Except for the presenter in the studio. That's
Alex
it.
Zane.
Yeah.
That was it.
And they would
Back
like,
when he was relevant.
and they would like fly people out to interview the people occasionally.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And be like, "Hi, what was your inspiration behind the video?" My nephew was doing something funny, and then I filmed him doing it, and then he did something else.
Well, they had one, and it was like
Zoinks.
a guy in his back garden, like proper like rural.
Proper rural.
They've got like a
do you mean like a hillbilly?
maybe a hillbilly, yes, a William of the Hill, as they say. So he's in his back
William Hill.
garden.
Oh my god, is that what William Hill is?
Oh my god,
Bookies.
A
Little
little-
Billy.
yeah. But this guy,
It's all coming together. This.
It is, isn't it? It's like Illuminati.
so kind of like we're talking like Cletus for slack-jawed yokel, you know, and
It's a bit racist.
a bit of like scraggy beard, you know, skinny as hell.
Some folk will never eat a skunk, but
Then
then
again,
again,
some
some folk will,
folk will.
like
It's
Cletus,
Cletus,
the
the
slack-jawed
slack-jawed
yokel.
yokel.
Yes. Anyway, so he's standing on his roof. And he's taken a one of those collapsing tables, one you like would plaster.
Oh, like
Plastering tape.
A plastering table, yeah.
A wallpaper
wallpaper
table.
table, yeah, thank
pasting
you.
table.
And he has covered it in nails,
Sure.
and he set fire to it,
Oh yeah.
and he backflips off his roof, lands on it.
Right. He meant to do that.
The thing is, that's set up. Do you
Oh,
know what I mean?
oh no,
I like-
I'm not saying it was
the thing I
candid
like about
camera.
Fail, yeah, fail videos are just they're very pure in that they're not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In a world where everything is very fabricated and everyone
Yeah.
films themselves in a specific way, doing specific things, seeing someone fuck up is brilliant,
Oh, it's excellent.
in my opinion.
That one of my favourite ones ever is a very, very drunk man, clearly coming home from a night out, comes into his kitchen, fancies himself as Spider-Man, leaps and grabs onto one of his cupboards on the wall and just rips it and everything else off the wall of his kitchen. And there's just chaos and broken cutlery, and it's outstanding.
That one is. Where do you stand on like a boss collections versus fail collections? So like,
oh, I see.
Yeah.
where people do things
Do
amazingly.
incredible things like with really
yeah, I mean,
super
but then
champs.
are they planned? I suppose.
Well, sometimes they're like things that they were trying to do, but they couldn't believe that they actually did it.
Yeah.
And then some of the things are like reacting incredibly fast to something else, and like, oh my god.
I like things where things aren't planned.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
People falling over is very good.
I love if someone falls over in the street. Oh,
it's just the
hell,
best.
that's funny.
Especially if they're carrying something like
Again,
a
I
milkshake.
don't want anyone to get seriously hurt.
Yes, or get ideas.
Or hurt, just hurt.
That's like that one where that kid's got a free taco and he's like, he's all up in the
yeah,
camera like, look at
yeah.
my free, and then he slips and falls and it smashes
There's
all
one on
over
a
the floor.
skateboard, isn't there? Where he's
Yeah,
tackle
yeah.
on a skateboard and he just falls off.
Oh, they're great. This isn't great for the medium of audio, though, is it?
No, it's good. You're just talking about things you
Fail
like.
Army is a good channel on YouTube if you want to get an impression of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. You got love for us, John?
Yeah, it's not quite as exciting as either of yours. I like Swans.
I don't think anyone else does.
No, I hate swans.
What? Who likes swans?
Swans are wankers.
Swans are like
Swans are posher versions of ducks.
Or
Yes.
geese. And geese are dicks.
yeah.
Geese are horrible. A swan nearly attacked Daisy recently.
Well, it may even be the same swan.
Swan will
If it's
break
down-
your arm.
Swan.
Is in Pittville Park?
Yeah.
Does
Is it a
George have a
specific
lady
swan
friend?
that you like?
Yeah, well, George is the swan that got shot through the neck, which is not cool.
Oh no.
That was local news.
That's
Yeah,
kind of a
that
big
was
deal,
like
though.
headline local news.
Yeah.
They've got signets at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you like?
Anyway, sorry, carry
Why
on.
do you like swans?
Because we don't have many animals in the UK that aren't boring. By which I mean,
Are they native to the UK, swans?
well, yeah, I believe they
The
are.
Queen's birds.
If you cut open the queen, she's full of swans. That's a fact.
Yeah, and when the Queen
But
does
you're
it-
not allowed to kill a swan, which is a shame, really.
You're allowed to kill the queen, though, as long as you don't kill the swans inside.
The Queen will have you and lock you in the tower if you. If
the
you get a
Queen will
swan.
come for you. She's got a
Yeah.
mean right hook. You know?
Oh yeah.
She skates on two corgis and finds her way to you.
Forward, corgis!
Oh, I'm sorry, my nose is about to explode again. Talk
Well, I'll
about
tell you
yourself.
why I don't like swans. Swan could break your arm with its wing.
Yeah, so I
That's
hear.
true.
I always thought it was with their beak, but yeah, okay.
We got a frisbee for Daisy recently, and we chucking the frisbee around, and it went near the swan, so she went after it, and the swan just hissed at her,
What a
and then she
bitch.
couldn't get her frisbee. So that's £2 I'll never see again.
Yeah.
I had to buy another frisbee.
You could have got the frisbee.
Oh, I wasn't there.
I'm not going
I
to go
see.
near a
Liz was
swan.
with her. I probably would have. But
Daisy's got a better chance of surviving against a swan than a human man.
Daisy's got a nastier bite than I have.
Daisy's like a trained, but essentially like wild animal.
Wild wolf animal.
Like
yes.
Daisy could take anyone more than I could. I couldn't take anything.
I'm pathetically weak.
Where do we stand on the whole swans can break your arm thing? Because is it like
I don't want to put it to the test.
is
if
it
I'm
like
honest.
swans not only can break your arm but enjoy
But
it?
they will.
Yeah, it's the only way they can. It's the only way they can mate is once they've made a human bleed.
Yeah, probably.
Or is it like, you know, in the
They
same
need human blood.
the same way that
It's a
like
catalyst.
I don't know. I'm looking around the room. The same way that this I don't know statue of a what is that, Nick? A statue of some kind of demon. Why is that the first thing I see when I look around the
You're
room?
going to shit.
What is that,
Hay
Nick?
fever's getting to you.
Is it like it's like me saying, "Oh, this microphone stand could break an arm"? It's like, yeah, if you swung it hard enough. Like
Yeah.
if someone picked up a swan and just came
But a
at you.
swan is a sentient. A swan does it itself.
petrified
If I swung a swan at you, I could probably break multiple bones.
Don't get me
But a
wrong.
swan does it itself.
But don't get me wrong. If I saw a swan
That's
come
what's so scary.
if a swan came towards me branching a mic stand, I would run. Like it's patting it in his hand.
Yeah.
Especially if it was singing generic pop.
I thought you said Jamiroquai.
It was singing a song like, I'm here to kill
No.
this guy, I'm here to kill this
Fool.
guy. This guy with the glasses and the beard, I'm here to kill this guy.
I've been a swan all my life. I've been a swan in this lake. I'm going to kill John right now, and I want to watch Ricky Lake. No,
Oh!
that doesn't rhyme. That's just the same
You
word.
rhymed late with late.
Yeah, you
I
did.
know,
Yeah,
that
it's not
cool,
good. Yeah.
wasn't it?
Why do
Rake,
you like
something
them,
about a
though?
rake?
Because they're beautiful. They're majestic.
I mean, I guess.
They're not.
I was cycling to work and I look to my right and there's a load of water and on that water is two swans and
Painting a picture.
their little family of cygnets and I'm like, so many of
They'll
our
fuck you up, John.
so many of our animals and planks in the UK are
Weapons.
boring. Deadly weapons are boring. And I like a duck as much as the next person, but a swan is like a better duck.
I love a duck.
It's like the duck made its way to the edge of the
swan-
chessboard and got promoted. You know,
It's like in drafts when it gets another duck
Drafts,
put
yeah.
on top of it.
yeah, it's become something better.
King me.
Yeah.
I don't like
The
swans.
ducks evolve into swans.
If you stack a duck on top of a duck, it becomes a swan.
If you force a duck down the throat of another duck, it
They're
dies.
beautiful. It's like when we had our holiday to Albufeira,
I remember it.
the old
vaguely.
boozy holiday.
You remember at least 10%.
Lads,
of
lads, lads.
Yeah, it's
it. Less ones there then?
No, but they had hoopos.
What? That's a Pokemon.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know that's Ho-Oh.
Ho-Oh.
I should say for the record at this point that John is really struggling.
He really is, but I don't care.
We're so like my face is melting, but
You're
we're so
literally, your eyes are slits and
Yeah.
red, and you're rubbing them constantly, and you look like you're about to throw up.
we're so close to the edge of
edge?
tomorrow.
Breeze.
Yeah. We're so close to it. End
Just cry
it.
it out, John. Cry
End
it out.
it. Just release me.
I
Be
think the
my
hanky
angel.
might be full of pollen.
Yeah, and pus. But no, and they're hoopos, and hoopos are a bit like a magpie, but they're bright orange, black and white wings.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got a great big crest on their head.
Oh, I know him. Yeah, I've seen him.
And I'm like, they're awesome. And all the locals are like, I don't care, it's just a bird. It's just boring.
Just a
What's
ruddy
that?
bird,
Doesn't
isn't it?
matter. But I was like, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
You've got a lovely country here. You should be proud.
You told
Apart
me.
from that bit we were staying in.
Yeah, apart from that godless mile called the Strip.
Yeah, it was awful.
It's horrible, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really vile. We could do a whole episode about
We
that.
could, yeah.
Sponsored
The
by
man who-
hepatitis.
The man who was a drug dealer and looked like a drug dealer. Like your classic Miami-looking drug dealer.
I don't want to judge a book by its cover, but you are a drug dealer.
And our
I
good
said,
friend,
I said to Pig, should I go and get a selfie with him? He better not, no.
this is our good friend James Pegram, who was beaten up
Oh,
by the
yeah.
bouncers in a bar.
Yeah.
Because he ordered a drink and then changed his mind.
Yeah, he didn't really do anything. They
They-
broke his sandal as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they broke his sandal.
They chased him
I
out the
fixed
bar
it.
and
I came along and fixed it.
Oh, well done.
chased him out the bar and then kicked and punched him to
Yeah.
the ground.
Really?
Because he was like,
vicious,
I'll have a
actually.
drink. Actually, no, I'm fine.
Yeah, it was like, actually, no, we won't. And then we just left, and they were like,
You
hey,
wasted
you owe me money.
time.
And it was like,
No, we don't.
Well, we don't, because you didn't give us a drink.
It was it was pretty vile. Like,
Wow.
you know,
That sounds
the
horrific.
whole area was disgusting.
It was a bit, yeah. I wouldn't go back.
No,
Put
God,
it
no.
that way.
No.
Was one of the bouncers a swan?
Could have been.
Could
Could
have
have been
broken.
related to us.
Could have broken James Pegram's arm.
Swan bouncer. No, but he was
That's a new
he was
TV show.
carrying he was carrying a swan under each arm.
Equipped.
Hey.
I think the
gun
swan had
show.
been having a word in his ear, and he became violent as a result.
I'm just saying, I like swans. They're beautiful. Even if it did break my arm, I'd be like, thank you.
You're the most beautiful thing to ever have broken my arm.
Thank you for a gift.
So
I would like to eat a swan.
I hear
in
it's
front
not
of
as,
you.
I hear it's not as good as you think.
It's probably like a big chicken.
Probably because the Queen comes for you.
Like, because you can't enjoy the flavour because of the fear.
She's just there, like at the window. She's technically not allowed to cross your threshold like a vampire, but she'll just be at your window, and it just puts you off your meal.
Do you suppose that's how she maintains her near infinite youth? You know,
She'll not live us all.
Swans.
Yeah,
That's the source of youth.
yeah,
She
basically,
is. You
yeah.
cut her open. She's full of swans. I've said this.
Yeah, she'll live indefinitely as long as there are swans.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
As long as there are swans in the English.
We're starting a
lands.
rumour.
local news.
There's an ancient myth. As long as there are swans in England's lakes, the Queen will live forever. Kill all the swans, she'll die.
We're not encouraging you to do that.
No.
Kill all the swans.
Just you know,
It's a soundbite.
consider it a suggestion.
Kill all the swans.
Kill all the swans.
Kill all the swans.
That could be an
It's
episode.
subliminal. It's subliminal, but people might pick it up.
It's very, very unsubtle, but it might penetrate
I
your
think that
subconscious.
might be the episode title.
I was
Kill
going to
all
say,
the
yeah,
swans.
and also not that I'm not enjoying this delightful banter. I feel like my septum's about to fall
Should
out,
we wrap it
Do
up?
you know what pollen is? Tiny yellow swans.
Oh,
Microscopic swans.
Yeah.
breaking all the arms of my nose.
Yeah, your nose arm.
Well, what one? Love or hate? Or pollen?
Hate.
Yeah,
Pollen,
because
yeah,
we
pollens.
hate your love, so I think hate
yeah.
one.
And pollen, yeah.
I
probably
like
pollen.
swans. Even if they killed me, I'd make a beautiful
You
corpse.
die with a smile on your face.
full of swan feathers. Yeah,
And swan toxins.
he's beautiful.
They're so poisonous as well.
Well, I guess we should wrap it up.
Okay, let's do our
Let's wrap
usual
it up
sign off.
as usual.
I
Kill
can
all the
just
swans.
cough into the microphone.
Kill all the swans. Kill all the swans.
What?
Kill all the swans.
I look forward to just dying on air. Like every episode.
Zoinks.